This is a developing and fast-moving story that we can't really predict where it's going to end up. For most of the morning, it's felt like ministers have been trying to hose down the row caused overnight by Suella Braverman. The Home Secretary has ended up in a place where she appeared, not explicitly, but appeared to be criticising particularly the Metropolitan Police for their different types of treatment towards different types of protesters, which is seen as a pop at Mark Rowley and the Metropolitan Police for letting that pro-Palestinian march on Saturday go ahead. You had a Home Office minister saying that Suella Braverman has full confidence in the Met Chief and that they've been doing a good job, the police have been doing a good job, and also emphasising that they are very concerned about the impression that going on these marches leaves and gives to the Jewish community. So that felt like an attempt to try and contain this row. But as you say, Jane, in the last half an hour, there has been a development. Sky News has confirmed that Number 10 was sent the article by Suella Braverman's team yesterday. Suella Braverman's team were asked by Number 10 to change some elements of that, but those changes weren't done. In other words, the article that appeared in the Times wasn't fully signed off by Number 10. Now, this whole story really is in part about the marches and part about how to deal with policing, but it's also a story about the power struggle and the power play between the Prime Minister and his Home Secretary. Because on the one hand, you've got a Home Secretary who has repeatedly been saying things and doing things and bluntly setting the news agenda, and often with things that some of the party regard as inflammatory, whether it was the comments about homelessness as a lifestyle choice or other things in the last few weeks. Number 10 then having to decide how they respond. So Number 10 are basically having to decide whether or not they will put up with this kind of flexing of muscles from somebody almost certain to go for the Tory leadership in the event of a Conservative Party defeat, or whether or not to relegate her to the backbenchers now or in a future reshuffle. Labour are calling for Suella Braverman to be sacked and says that the failure of any action is a sign of weakness by the Prime Minister. But let's see as the day develops. I do think that this new development about the article not being signed off properly by Number 10 is a complication that we don't know where it's going to lead.